Color blindness. Color blindness. Focus question. What causes color blindness, CVD, and how can it affect a person's life? What colors do you see? Imagine looking at a box of crayons and seeing only shades of gray, blue, and yellow, or looking at a traffic signal on which the red and green lights look very similar. That's how the world can appear to someone with color blindness. They see the world differently than people with full color vision. Color blindness is the world's most common genetic condition, affecting more than 10 million people in the United States alone. Despite its name, though, color blindness does not cause blindness. For this reason, the medical community now calls the condition color vision deficiency, CVD. Most people affected by CVD that can still see some colors. CVD simply means the inability or decreased ability to see certain colors. Where do colors come from? It's easier to understand CVD when you realize that colors are actually different wavelengths of light. If you use a prism to separate white light into a rainbow, you're actually separating it into its different wavelengths. The red end of the spectrum contains longer than wavelengths of light, while shorter wavelengths of light are at the purple end. Objects appear to be different colors because they observe or reflect different wavelengths of light. A strawberry looks red because it reflects long red wavelengths. If it instead reflected short wavelengths of light, it would be lit blue. How color vision works. Humans see colors because light-detecting cells in our eyes respond differently to different wavelengths of light. When light enters one of your eyes, the lens focuses it on the retina, a thin layer of tissue that's the back of the eyeball. There it activates light-sensitive cells called rod cells and cone cells. Activated cells send electrical signals to the brain, where they are translated into images. Rods and cones. Rod cells are the most sensitive cells in your retina. They allow you to see it extremely dim light, but they can't tell different colors apart. Cone cells are responsible for color vision. Each cell contains one of 3 different light-absorbing molecules called photopigments, which detect blue, green, or red light. Combining their 3 main colors allows you to see thousands of colors. When one or more pigments aren't functioning properly, though, CVD results. Color vision in animals. Most animals can see fewer colors than humans. For instance, dogs can only see shades of blue and yellow, and bulls cannot see the color red. Other animals, including some birds, bees, and butterflies, see more colors than humans do, including wavelengths of light that are visible to humans. Different types of CVD. Red-green CVD. Red-green CVD, which causes differently when it comes to telling the difference between red and green, is the most common type of color vision problem. It's hereditary, found most often in white people of Northern European ancestry. It's also more common in men, of which it affects 1 out of 12, than in women, of which it affects only 1 in 200. Red-green CVD is usually caused by defects in the green photopigment. Without the green photopigment, green and yellow shells appear reddish in color. Defects on the red photopigment also cause red-green CVD. In this case, red, orange, and yellow objects appear green or black. Although people with red-green CVD have trouble distinguishing colors, they can still see clearly. That's because red and green cones have some overlap in the wavelengths of light they detect. Their eyes can still detect incoming light even if one type of cone is missing or malfunctioning. Blue-yellow CVD. Blue-yellow CVD occurs when the blue photopigment is not working or is missing. It's fairly rare, only occurring in about 1 out of every 10,000 people worldwide. Unlike red-green CVD, it's equally common in men and women. Some people with blue-yellow CVD have no blue cone cells at all, which causes them to see blue as green and to see yellow as violet or gray. More commonly, people who have blue-yellow CVD have particularly functional blue cone cells. As a result, they have a difficult time telling yellow and red from pink. Complete CVD. Complete CVD is the most severe form of CVD. It occurs when there are defects in two or more of the three types of cones. You might think that a single kind of cone would be enough to enable color vision, but it's not. The brain must compare color information from at least two different types of cone cells to identify colors. That means people who have only blue cone cells, for example, are able to see blue wavelengths of light, but they can't distinguish any colors. People who are missing two or more types of cones tend to be extra sensitive light. They may also have difficulty seeing clearly, especially in bright light. That's because they have to rely on rod cells for most or all of their vision, and rod cells only work in dim lighting conditions. Only about 1 out of 30,000 people worldwide are missing all three types of cones. People who lack any functioning cone cells see the world in shades of black, white, and gray. The challenges of CVD. People with CVD may face some challenges. For example, they may have trouble reading color-coded information on maps, graphs, and charts. Children with CVD may have challenges with classwork, especially if their CVD have not been diagnosed. Red-green CVD makes it difficult to read yellow chalk on a green chalkboard. All types of CVD make it difficult to choose the correct colors for art and science projects. CVD can also cause safety issues. Fire hydrants, car warning lights, and emergency equipment are often colored red or yellow to make them more visible. These bright colors may be obvious to those with full color vision, but unnoticeable to those with CVD. People may also have difficulty noticing sunburns, rashes, or undercooked meat without color vision. In some cases, CVD may be a factor when a person chooses that career to pursue. Some positions, such as geologists or commercial airline pilot, require full color vision. Other careers, such as interior design, photography, and food inspection, are significantly more challenging without it. Still, people with CVD can usually work around those challenges to succeed at almost any job. Testing for CVD. The Ishihara test is the most common test for red-green color vision problems. It uses images made up of dots that are different sizes and colors. People with cool color vision can see numbers or shapes inside of pictures. People with red-green CVD may find it difficult or impossible to identify the hidden symbols. Other similar tests are used to detect yellow-blue CVD. Tools to help people with CVD. Currently, there's no known cure for CVD. However, modern technology has led to the development of many new tools to help people with CVD. Smartphone apps perform tasks such as identifying colors and recommending complementary colors. These apps can even help people choose matching clothes or tell which fruits are ripe at the grocery store. Some smartphone apps can only identify colors after the user snaps a photo, but others can analyze them in the camera's viewfinder without requiring the user to take a photo first. This lets users identify colors in real time. Researchers have also created high-tech tinted lenses that filter out specific wavelengths of light. Special sunglasses that use these lenses allow people with red-green CVD to distinguish between the two colors. Treating CVD. Although no true treatment for CVD currently exists, they may soon change. Recently, scientists were able to find a workaround for red-green CVD in squirrel monkeys. The monkeys elect the red photopigment and, as a result, couldn't tell the difference between red and green. Researchers engineered a specially constructed virus to insert the red photopigment gene into the monkey's green cone cells. Within about 20 weeks, treated monkeys could distinguish between red and green dots. This was exciting news. The monkeys have lived with CVD since birth. Many doctors and scientists had predicted that it would be impossible for them to see in full color because their brains would not have developed the connections needed to interpret color information. These connections usually develop with animals are young. Now that we know that CVD can be worked around in adult squirrel monkeys, there's hope for people who want full color vision too. Living with CVD. CVD is a fairly common condition that can be inherited by anyone. Perhaps you or someone in your family has CVD. If not, you probably know someone who does. Detecting CVD early can help people understand and adjust to what they are seeing. Though CVD has some challenges to certain activities, most people with CVD gets along just fine. They may see the world little bit differently, but they doesn't stop them from having rich, fulfilling lives.